RTV, we back with another episode. Welcome back, guys, to the number one, the biggest, the best, the most profitable podcast in the world, reality TV podcast. Welcome back, guys. Solo up today, which is completely my fault because it had totally slipped my mind that we needed to record, and I thought that we had one more episode in the bank before our next recording session. And once I realized that we didn't have one more episode in the bank, it was late and we were already busy during the weekend. But yeah, enough of that. Just like how we start every single episode, playlist of the week. What have I been listening to this week? I've actually been listening to a lot of music this week. There's this one lady that I was plugged with, and her name is Eliza. Dude, her music is incredible. There's an old album of hers that I have that I've listened to so many times before, but I didn't know that she had released an album, a new album this year, and I was plugged with one of the songs on that album, bro. Yo. So this song was played for me in the car, right? And on my way back, all I was listening to is that song. That song from Eliza called Zombie Like. Dude, that song is incredible. Mind you, the drive back is like 30 minutes. The song is like 4 minutes or 3 minutes, I'm not sure. And all I was listening to the whole ride back home was that song Zombie Like by Eliza. I don't want to go as far as to say, because it's only March, it's only been 3 months within the year, but I don't want to go as far as to say that this is one of the best albums that I've heard this year. The music is very alternative, soulful type of music. It's so good. Listening to the whole project, dude, I like the whole project. There's no skips. There's like there's maybe 2 songs that I would skip, but really and truly, I would be listening to that album from front to back, from back to front, from up to down, from down to up. I am crazy about that album. That album is so insane. And the album's name is The Darkening Green. Guys, if you don't know this album, if you haven't heard this album, please go check it out, bro. She's very I don't want to call her an indie artist, but she low-key is an indie artist. You know, when I look at her views on YouTube, she doesn't rack up the same amount of views as like other R&B and soul, or like neo soul or alternative R&B or alternative soul music that other artists get. She it's like a good amount of views, but it's not a crazy amount. I don't think there's a song or a music video on YouTube, on her YouTube, that has 1 million views and 100k likes or anything like that. So she's very low key, and dude, her music is incredible. I knew her from somewhere else. You know, I'd heard her before. I found out about her in high school, but I didn't know that she had released an album in 2025. There was an album that she had released before that I was plugged with in high school, and I was told to listen to it. And bro, after I heard Eliza and this album from 2025, I went back to her discography and I listened to all of her albums that she had released in the past, and they are just as amazing as this album that has come out. That album is beautiful. All her other albums also are beautiful. Oh, dude, amazing. I just forgot the names of the other 2 albums that she has released, but chef's kiss, go check her out. Another person that I've been listening to is Brother Cooper, Worst Feeling Ever. Dude, when Vivid told me about that album, and he thought it was a classic, he was telling me about the samples that he was using and all of that. We're gonna discuss this album in depth in the next episode when Vivid is back. But dude, that album by Brother Young Cooper, oh, Worst Feeling Ever. Dude, it's a good album. It's a good album. The fact that I think that's his first studio album, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's his first album, and all the other projects that he had released in the past were all EPs and or like singles or anything or things like that. Sorry. Worst Feeling Ever, a good startup album for him, bro. It's a good album. I like a lot of the songs. I like R.I.P. Ricky, the Boom Shaka one. There's so many songs that I like also. I just don't remember the names of the songs, but yeah, it's a good album. I wouldn't say that it's like a flawless album or a classic album, because he's still young. I think he's still young and there's so much room for him to be able to improve. The samples, I love how he was using the samples on this album. Very, 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 very nice, bro. Another album or another artist that I've been listening to is Mike. Bro, I think the reason why I went back to listening to Mike was because I found out that him and Tebe, Earl Sweatshirt are releasing a collab album in April, and I am let me, you know what? I'll touch on the collab album with Mike and Tebe just now, but let me tell you guys about Mike, the album that I was listening to from Mike and Tony Salsa. So Mike and Tony Salsa have this collab album, and Mike, you guys know he's a rapper, and Tony Salsa, he's a producer. So they have this amazing chemistry together, right? They've got two collab albums with each other. One was Pinball and the other one is Pinball 2. And I've been listening to Pinball 2. Pinball 2 is incredible, bro. Guys, if you haven't heard that record, bro, if you haven't heard that project, especially if you're a fan of Mike and if you're a fan of Tebe, Earl Sweatshirt, if you really like Earl Sweatshirt and you're a big Earl Sweatshirt fan, but if you're a big Earl Sweatshirt fan, you would know about Mike. You have to listen to Mike. You have to listen to this Mike and Tony Salsa collab album. The beats, the production on that album, bro. Wow, Tony Salsa is an incredible producer, bro. I could write a whole speech about this album. I could write a love song about this album. This album is incredible. The production is great. Mike, of course, delivering on the mic. He doesn't disappoint. So the lyrics are good. His bars, the way he flows is incredible. The production is great. I wouldn't say that like there aren't any misses on the album. There are a couple of misses, but it's an all-round good album that I thoroughly enjoyed this week. I've been listening to Earl Sweatshirt too because, you know, the collab album with Mike just kind of like, you know, I got very excited when I heard that there was going to be a collab album between Mike and Earl Sweatshirt. So I went back to Earl Sweatshirt's album that he released last year, Love, Love, Happy or something like that. I completely forgot the name of the album, but you know what you're getting with Earl Sweatshirt. Very lazy, and just because his flow is very nonchalant, that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to what he's saying, bro. Because his lyrics, bro, he's teaching you something. He's putting you onto game. He's giving you introspection, or he's giving you guys how can I say? He's giving you guys a view into his life. He's delivering on the bars. He's doing all of, bro. Earl Sweatshirt is one of the best rappers of our generation, bro. Am I saying this because his dad was a poet and he was a South African poet? Maybe, but also say at the same time, I have to give credit where credit needs to be given, bro. Earl Sweatshirt, that whole Odd Future, that whole Odd Future guys, Tyler, Earl Sweatshirt, Frank Ocean, bro. I know that's not the whole of Odd Future. I know, I'm aware, but like, that group, what a phenomenal. And one thing that I like about that group is that they all love music. As much as we're not getting a Frank Ocean project, or we haven't gotten a Frank Ocean project in damn near 11 years, as much as that's the case, or 9 years, I'm not sure. As much as that's the case, I know that Frank loves music, bro, because of the way he was producing his music and the way he made his music. You could feel the love of the music through his productions and through his singing and all of that. And that's the same with Tyler, the Creator. And that's the same with Tebe. Oh my gosh. I genuinely can't wait for this collab album between Tebe and Mike. I've also been listening to Concrete Boys. I'm still on volume 2, guys. Guys, when I tell you that I really love that album, it's such a fun album to listen to. That's the thing. That's the problem with fun albums, bro. Like, the subject matter is not heavy within the album, so it's very fun to listen to that album. You know, you don't have to think much. I don't want to say it's good background music. Nah, it's not. Let me not say it's good background music, but like, it's good music to listen to if you're in the gym, and it's very easy to put that music in rotation, especially if you're at the gym, or maybe you're cleaning and you're busy around the house. It's not that album that you have to sit down, listen to every single lyric that is being said in the album, and like, you have to dissect the triple entendres or the hidden meanings, or you have to find the theme of the album or the themes of the songs within the album. Nah, this is a very cool, very nice. The production is great. Everyone is pulling their weight there in Concrete Boys. I know that Vivid and I are saying that we miss Karabo. Karabo needs to come back. Of course, we miss that, but that doesn't mean that it's a trash album, you know? Does it feel like it's missing Karabo? Yes, it does feel like it's missing Karabo. Even though it's missing Karabo, that doesn't mean it's a trash album. It's still a good album. It's still a great album. I still think that it's not better than Volume 1, because I think that Volume 1 is slightly better. And the reason why Volume 1 is slightly better than Volume 2 is because of Caribou or Carabo, you know? Another album I've still been listening to is the Baby Keem album, the Casino album. Wow, dude. I'm not gonna spend too much time on the Baby Keem and the Casino album, but I think it's a great album. I've just continuously, and again, it's this one. This one is a bit different to the Concrete album. I was about to say that this one is an album that you can play in the background and not listen to the subject matter that much and not concentrate on the themes or the subject matter. But it's an album that you can play in the gym. It's an album that you can sit down and listen to the subject matter. If you're a subject matter type of person, the production is great. Super clean production from Baby Keem, bro. I don't think that he completely produced every single track, but I feel as if he had a helping hand in each and every track, or he produced a whole track by himself. I feel as if that he you can feel that he was completely involved in this album. He was a curator, like how West Side Gun is for for his albums. You know, he's there, he's curating, and I think that Baby Keem was the same in his album for Casino. One thing that I like about this album is that I can listen to it anyway. Yes, there's some subject matter that is very deep, but also at the same time, there's some songs where I don't have to concentrate on the lyrics and I can just jam and just listen to the production or listen to the beat or how he's flowing and enjoy just that. I don't have to listen to his lyrics. It's not like I'm not a lyricist or Highway 95 Part 2 or Highway 98 Part 2. It's not like those. There's songs like House Money there that you can hear. This is just, it gets you off of your feet. It gets you moving and it's just a great album. There's a song that I've been listening to by Lucky and Lil Yachty called I Don't Care. Guys, that song is heavily on my repeat. It's heavily in repeat, heavily, continuously. It's on repeat every single day. I listen to, bro, Lucky and Lil Yachty have such good chemistry, bro. They're both pulling their weight on that song. There's no one that's doing better than the other one. Lucky's not doing better than Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty's not doing better than Lucky. They're all contributing enough within that song to make it an incredible song. There's no one that's pushing or that's pulling the weight. There's no one that's carrying another person. There's no one that's better than the other one. It's just an incredible song, bro. One thing I have to say, right, and I don't mean this in a terrible way, I mean this in the best way possible. I think that Lil Yachty is great at making music that you don't have to concentrate to. Like, you need music. You need music that you don't have to concentrate to all the time. You need music where you don't have to be concentrating on the lyrics or what does this mean or dissecting it. You need music like that. You can't always have, like, you know, a Kendrick, bro. Like, yes, Kendrick is an incredible artist, right? Don't get me wrong. Kendrick is a great artist, but I don't want to be listening to deep stuff all the time. Every single time I'm listening to deep music with deep subject matter that's very traumatic. You know what I mean? Yes, I guess it's very empowering to the Black community, of course, but you don't need that all the time, bro. Sometimes you need to listen to Drake. Sometimes you need to listen to Future. Sometimes, you know, even though like Drake and Future are very good at masking like the deep subject matter, they're very good at masking it that it can go over your head, you know, because the beat is good, their flow is good, their delivery is incredible. It's very easy for the lyrics to go under the radar and for you not to focus on the lyrics from Drake and Future, you know what I mean? So he's very good at making music that's very good in terms of production. The beat is incredible. His lyrics, yes, they're not that deep. He's talking about lean, he's talking about women, he's talking about being rich. Yes, they're not that deep, but it's not like something that you need to dissect. It's very easy to comprehend and you can just listen to it without really concentrating, you know what I mean? Another person I've been listening to is West Side Gun. You guys know how much I love West Side Gun, bro. If you don't know how much I love West Side Gun, now you know how much I love West Side Gun. I think West Side Gun, for me personally, he is my favorite artist of all time. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. He's up there in terms of the ranking in my top 3 favorite artists of all time. So I've been listening to him this week. I've been listening to Fly God. I've been listening to Fly God is an Awesome God 2 and Hitler Wears Hermes 7, I think. Bro. Bro, I saw a video that said that West Side Gun is basically our Leonardo da Vinci, bro. And bro, that is so true, bro. That is so true. I feel as if only West Side Gun supporters will understand that statement that West Side Gun is our version of Leonardo da Vinci, bro. West Side Gun is so artistically talented. It's actually mind boggling. Whether it's fashion, whether it's music, whether it's him doing the wrestling stuff. He's got his own wrestling company. Dude, there's these shoes that he released that are super cool also, bro. West Side Gun. Yeah, so I've been listening to him. I'm going off topic. But yes, I've been listening to him. I've been listening to Fly God. I've been listening to Fly God is an awesome God 2. Hitler Wears Hermes 7. Bro, those albums are so good, bro. They're so good. And again, I've been listening to West Side Gun in preparation for the album that he's gonna be releasing this year also. He's another person who's gonna be releasing, bro. 2026, the gift that keeps on giving when it comes to music. I've been listening to James Blake also. He released an album this past week. Oh, bro, that album is so good. It's so good. I love James Blake. He makes incredible music. His singing is great. Like, his vocal range is incredible. And the way he uses his voice, the way he manipulates his voice it's great. He released a great album. I wouldn't say that it's up there as like an album of the year contender, but it's a really good album. The listening experience of that album is incredible. I really enjoyed James Blake's performance on that album. The production was good, so I'm very happy about that. And lastly, unfortunately, another person I've been listening to, another person that I listened past tense, is Jack Harlow. Wow, that album is not for me, bro. That album, let's actually talk about that Jack Harlow album, bro. I don't think that album is really good. That album I think that's one of his worst albums that he has released so far, bro. I'm not a big Jack Harlow fan, and I'll never pretend to be the person that really messed with Jack Harlow, or when he got big with What's Popping. I'm not gonna pretend like I was the one that was like listening to him before that, or even listening to him when he released What's Popping. I thought that What's Popping song was very corny, in my opinion. I didn't enjoy it. So I never understood the hype music wise when it comes to Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow, the person, I think he's a great human being, bro. He's very funny. He's very charismatic. So I have nothing wrong to say about Jack Harlow, the person, but I do not gel with his music, and that's the same with this album, bro. Jack Harlow fans, please let me know what you guys think about this album that he's released. So I got into Jack Harlow. Let me not say got into Jack Harlow, but I started trying to listen to Jack Harlow in 2020, 2021, 2022, around that time where he was basically everywhere on social media. So I was thinking that, yo, this guy is everywhere, so he must make incredible music. Even though I didn't understand what was the hype with What's Popping. So I tried to listen to an album that he had released in 2020 called That's What They All Say. I started it, but I couldn't finish it. There's some songs there's like one song that I like, and I think that's the song with Chris Brown. So I didn't mess with that album that much. And then 2 years later, he released Come Home, The Kids Miss You, which I think, okay, I wouldn't say that's his best album, because I think that Jackman is probably his best album. And Come Home, The Kids Miss You I think for Jack Harlow fans, that's a good album. There's one song that I really like there, which is Churchill Downs. With Churchill Downs, it has Drake on it. And as you know, Jack Harlow is heavily inspired by Drake. His flow was very similar to Drake. Everything was like, I don't want to say he was copying Drake, but he was kind of like imitating Drake, but in a flattering way towards Drake. Like, yo, you are my mentor. I look up to you. I really love your music. And on the song Churchill Downs, it kind of solidified where I stood with Jack Harlow. People thought that Jack Harlow could take over Drake and become the next Drake, but on Churchill Downs, it just kind of showed the gap in talent and in quality between Drake and Jack Harlow. As critical as I've been of Drake, Drake is an incredibly talented rapper. He's an incredibly talented lyricist. He's an incredibly talented artist. So when you put Drake next to an artist who is mediocre at rapping, it just shows how big the gap in quality is between Jack Harlow and Drake. So after that Drake verse on Churchill Downs and Drake basically washing Jack Harlow on that song, it really solidified Jack Harlow for me as someone who is not for me, Okay, I don't think he's that incredible at rapping. It's not, I think he should just stick to that pop rap side of rapping. And after that song, Churchill Downs, right, where people saw how huge the gap in quality is between Jack Harlow and Drake, people started questioning if Jack Harlow is actually really good enough, you know? Is he really that good of a rapper? And now on now Jack Harlow is trying to prove to people that he's a good rapper. But unfortunately, he falls short again, bro. I personally didn't like Jackman, but I think that Jackman is better than Come Home the Kids Miss You. Because Come Home the Kids Miss You is very pop rap, and I'm not a big fan of pop rap. When he released Jackman, I was like, oh, this is better, but is it good? No, it's not good for me. Now, 2026, he's released this album called Monica. And this album is very neo soul inspired, very D'Angelo inspired. But unfortunately, just because it's D'Angelo inspired, just because it's neo soul inspired, it does not even come close to the best neo soul artists. It does not even come close to D'Angelo in terms of imitation or trying to replicate what D'Angelo had done before in terms of neo soul. Vocally, I don't think Jack Harlow is that incredible. I struggled to finish that album. I've listened to the first 3-4 songs and I was struggling to get through that album. One thing I will say that he tries. I'll give him an A for effort. He did try, you know, but like it's just not as good as the people who are the best within that category or within that genre that he's trying to get into. I don't want to say what Jack Harlow is doing or what has he been doing in the promotion of this album is cultural appropriation, but it's very close to cultural appropriation. And the reason why that I don't want to say that is because he comes off as very sincere. He comes off as a person who seems to enjoy neo soul, you know, who seems to enjoy black culture and who seems to love black culture. But it to me, right? To me, and this is my opinion, it comes off as very performative. Even the way he dresses is to match the neo soul aesthetic of this album that he just released. He's dressing up like a person who's gonna go do slam poetry or a person who's gonna go perform spoken word. It's weird. The guy looks like an imitation of Mos Def. But yeah, that's my review of the album. I didn't enjoy it. But Jack Harlow fans, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy the Monica album? Moving on to football, this past weekend, Man City drew with West Ham. Man City, you had one job, bro, which is to stop Arsenal from winning the league. And you guys couldn't do that. Or you're struggling to do that. Now you drew with West Ham. You see, it's not easy to beat West Ham. We struggle to beat West Ham. You struggle to beat West Ham. We are all in the same boat. But yeah, it's very funny that Pep, before that match, he said that if City drop points, then the title race is over. And then after City dropped points, he changed his words and he said that the title race is not over. At this point, if City keeps performing the way they've been performing as of late, United might overtake them. We might overtake you guys. So yeah, City, please pull up your socks, bro. We are all working together here to stop Arsenal from winning the league. Arsenal scoring 2 late goals to increase their lead at the top of the table after City had dropped points. That must be a huge boost of confidence for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal after City dropping points, bro, and them scoring late like that. Max Darman looks like an incredible talent. It looks like England might have their own Lamine Yamal. I'm not gonna say that, but like it looks like England have their own Lamine Yamal now. Manchester United versus Aston Villa. From my perspective and from my own opinion, I thought we played really well, bro. It's even in the first half. I know that a lot of people say that our first half wasn't as good as our second half, and we were very flat in the first half, and we weren't trying. I get that, yes, and I completely agree that we were not as good as we were in the second half. But I still think that in the first half, we reduced the amount of chances that Aston Villa had. We pushed Aston Villa back to a low block. So yeah, I thought we played well in the first half. We just didn't create enough chances, and we also weren't splitting Aston Villa's defensive line enough. And then in the second half, we created more chances and we scored our 3 goals from there. Casemiro with an incredible header, by the way, and an incredible cross from Bruno. Cunha scoring a second goal after Aston Villa had equalized. And then Sesko coming on and playing like the hungry striker he is and scoring his 10th goal of the season for United, which is level with Mbumo. And people had the nerve to question if Sesko was a flop or not. If Mbumo is not a flop, then Sesko is not a flop too, because they've got the same amount of goals, and also at the same time, Sesko is younger than Mbumo. Let's talk about the man of the moment right now, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, one of the best signings in United history, a future United legend. He managed to get 100 goals and 100 assists. So this past weekend, he broke the record for the most assists by a Manchester United player in a Premier League season. And that record was held by David Beckham, which was 15 assists, and now Bruno has 16 assists. He's 4 assists away from matching Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry's assist record. And he's 5 away from breaking that assist record. Whether Bruno breaks that assist record or not, I think we all have to agree that Bruno is the Premier League best player of the season. And yes, I understand that Declan Rice, Gabriel and Saliba, they are all having incredible season and they are all strong contenders for the best Premier League player of the year. I'd like to remind you guys that this guy was playing as a defensive midfielder for more than half of the season. Only now when Ruben Amorim was sacked, he started playing as a number 10 and he started racking up his assists. Here's the crazy part. He's got more assists as a defensive midfielder than he does as a number 10 this season. So far. A crazy stat that I want to read to you guys that's been going around as of late, and you guys have probably heard it, that it has taken Bruno 318 games to reach 100 goals and 100 assists. That's in fewer games than what Lionel Messi did at Barcelona, which was 319 games. And that's in fewer games than what Ronaldo did for Real Madrid, which was 325. Guys, this is the company that Bruno's around now, okay? I don't want anyone comparing Bruno with Odegaard anymore, please, because Bruno is so far ahead. He is so far ahead, bro. I just love this version of Bruno because this is a much more mature version of Bruno. He doesn't give away the ball as much as he used to. He's much more accurate with his passes. Even though, yes, he does give away the ball, but he doesn't give it away like he used to 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. The way he uses his body to be able to shield the ball, and also the way he shifts his body to be able to confuse the defender as to where he's going. What we're seeing right now is a very refined Bruno Fernandes, a very technical, a person who's using his mind, but also he's using his instincts at the same time. He's found that sweet spot. It seems as if every assist and every game he's in constant flow state, which is incredible. It's obvious that this guy deserves the Premier League player of the season, for sure. Some more football related news. Yesterday, AFCON released a statement announcing that Morocco are the new AFCON winners now. So apparently Senegal broke the rule within the code of conduct, which has led to them forfeiting their AFCON title, which is crazy to me because there's so many unsportsmanlike things that Morocco did throughout the tournament, not just against Senegal's, but against other national teams too, that they did, and now they're the winners of the AFCON. That is embarrassing from AFCON because it's not like Senegal won the tournament unfairly or practicing unsportsmanlike things or behaviors or anything like that. They won the AFCON fair and square. Yes, they walked off of the pitch, but the reason they walked off of the pitch is because they were tired of the injustices that were being done to them. I don't think, not that I know of, Morocco being punished for their unsportsmanlike behavior throughout the whole tournament. This is embarrassing from AFCON, and this is why other international countries won't take African football seriously. I hope this gets overturned, and I know that Senegal is contesting this decision, but I really and truly, for the sake of football, for the sake of African football, I hope this gets overturned because Morocco are not deserving AFCON champions. I don't care what you tell me, bro. That's it for this episode. We'll check you guys next week. I've been Rich Amani again. That's Pretty Boy Rory. We have been Reality TV Podcast. Make sure to drop a like, hit the follow, share this. Also turn on your post notifications, and we are out.